him here. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. And we're live. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gentleman in Crypto episode 1117. Today is Monday, July 17, 2023, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 10ish. Today's top stories: allowing Coinbase to go public was not a blessing from regulators, said SEC. SEC accepts BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF application, signaling regulatory review. Ron DeSantis vows to ban CBDCs in the U.S. if elected president. Aave Protocol launches stablecoin GHO on Ethereum mainnet, and $2 million has been already minted. And Unstoppable Domains adds .ethereum domains through Ethereum name service. But first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and check out these prices. That's right. It looks like we were correct in our assessment of a few tokens last week, including XRP. And its eventual, slowing down this is eventual win that went out of sales. We had a chance to actually see, but let me go ahead and bring that up really quick. There it is. Of course, using CoinMarketCap, number one, Bitcoin, $30,279, down 0.2%. You can see here, Ethereum, $1,915, down 0.85%. Actually, a little bit more than that. Throughout the weekend. Number four, XRP, what we've been waiting on at 74 cents. So shout out to XRP. It did continue to pump because I think on Friday, where were we? I don't want to say. I don't know. We were like around 60-something cent on Friday or whatever, or at the same point. But we did say if it didn't hit $1 over the weekend, it probably is going to be slowing down. So it looks like that's happening here. But Ripple at 74 cents, down 1.28%. Let's see, number seven, Cardano, 31 cents. I don't know how or why, but that's down 1.77%. And round off number 10 is Polygon Matic at 78 cents, down 0.44%. And again, Matic has probably been one of the best tokens this year to actually trade, people. It's been going back and forth between 60 to 80, 90 cents here for the better part of about 8 or 9 months. So that's really a tradable token. You're looking at doing that. It keeps going up and down between that range. Trending tokens, of course, XRP still trending, Barn Bridge, and Casper. Look, Casper's back in the house, up 9%. And Fear and Greed Index has actually dropped. If you remember, it was at 67 last week. It's at 57 today, so it's about neutral. And I think that's right, depending on news. And today, going ahead and forewarn you, it's going to be a really quick show. We're getting in and out with some news. We just want to make sure I tag in, tag out, let you know what's happening out here in these crypto streets. Really quick shout outs: Patrick Walter, Wisdom Bar, Satoshi Slim, the Pothead. What's going on? Goodness, Dion, top of the top to you. Crip Work, Blockchain, Bullyville, Spliff, Smitty Farms. What's going on? Said TGOC gives great perspective on Clown World. You already know it, man. It's unfortunate, but it's true. All right, speaking of Clown World, let's get this show rolling again. Gonna actually try to keep it short today. Let's see how well that works. I got to put a soundboard on tomorrow because shots fired, bang, bang. Allowing Coinbase to go public was not a blessing from regulators, said the SEC. Hilarious. Could you imagine if a court judge, well, you don't have to imagine, it happens in California all the time, but this is to me is the same as like court judges, prosecutions and stuff, letting the bad guy go, right? It's like you let the bad guy go and they commit another crime. You're like, oh, we didn't say they were a good person. We just said we weren't going to lock them up. It's like, what do you mean? That's your job. Your job is to lock up the bad people, or so we thought and think. That's kind of like what I'm reading here. The SEC has proven itself to be the top cop, the top regulator of this entire industry. And now they're saying, hey, just because we let somebody go through and do one thing, it doesn't mean that they're actually safe and free from regulation. Like, this was the whole point of Coinbase going public. If the SEC said this before Coinbase were to go public, they would not have went public. So, I mean, slap in the faces of all the crypto market to me. But the SEC argued that just because it approves an S-1 filing from a company does not mean the firm is not operating or will not operate in violation of the law. That is ridiculous. Now, will not operate, I can agree with. You can't tell the future. But if they are already operating in violation of law, why would you allow them to go public? And I'm sure people like Kathy Wood from ARK Invest actually has the same question, because if you saw over the weekend, she pulled back from them Coinbase shares again. I'm sure she did it after seeing headlines like this. Why? Because a part of people like her and those institutions, I know real institutions, multi-billion-dollar institutions that invested in the Coinbase public stock. They did it thinking that it was a go-ahead from the SEC saying that, hey, these guys are good under regulatory approval. But now the SEC is actually saying, no, they're not. Like, if this is market manipulation, we were talking about this. You can't, as an enforcement agency, as a regulatory body, and say you're running crypto, allow someone to go public just so you can get the money, because we know why. They had $100 billion valuation. And then after they go public and the price of the stock sinks, then you come out and say, well, we never said that they were following directions or they weren't in violation of the law. We just allowed them to go public. Well, why would you? Why would you free a mass murderer if you know he's killing people? It don't make sense to me. But again, it does make sense to me because gang gonna do what gang does the best. But I mean, shout out to the SEC for even having the gumption to say these words and to have a story written up on it. This is amazing. I love America. It doesn't get no more gangster than this country. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission has argued in courts that the approving a firm's S-1 application to go public does not represent a blessing from the agency, nor does it provide a verification that the business is regulatory compliant. So if anything, Coinbase got slapped, and we called it. We kept saying it was a honeypot, and it turns out it was a honeypot. Even the SEC is coming out saying it was a honeypot. They literally just wanted Coinbase for the high price action it was going to get on the stock market. And after that, they dumped it just like everyone else. This is crazy. None other brought to you by the Southern District of New York. You keep hearing them for a reason, right? Again, this is crazy. There's nothing else we need to be said. It's in the headline. And per trial counsel Peter Mancuso from the SEC, being quoted as saying, there is no way that an approval of an S1 is a blessing of a company's entire business. In fact, there's no evidence being put forth that the SEC looked at specific assets and made specific determinations and then gave Coinbase comfort that this would not later be found to be a security. Again, if that is the case, and this is supposed to be an American regulatory body, why would you not stop them from going public? Like, this is literally treason to me from the SEC. Why are you fucking with American companies? Like, Coinbase tried to do it right, people. They tried to do it right. They worked with the government and they went public. And then the government comes back a year later and was like, that wasn't no blessing. Tried to tell you, Brian. Tried to tell you. So if it isn't clearer than it's ever been, it should be now. The lines are drawn. They are not going to be your friend. And this was after 2 or 3 years, people. I keep telling you, they're on a 50-year plan. What do you think they're going to do with the entire market in the year 2030, the year 2035, the year 2040? What do you think the crypto market is going to look like if the American government gets their hands on it? It will not be pretty. They're showing you this to your face. Coinbase did everything against what the market and people, participants like myself, wanted them to do, and they worked with the government. They gave over data. Hand over whatever you want, America. We got you, Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam still said, you ain't shit to me, boy, but another boy. That goddamn, I love this gangster government. If it ain't no other government I love, it's our American one right here. They actually allowed them to go public just to come back 2 years later and say it's not a blessing. Why would you let them on the stock market? Like, really quick, this is my last thing, because I said today was going to be a short show, and I'm spending too much time on this already. Why would they allow the general public to buy into something that could have been in violation of the law? If that's the case, what is the point of the SEC? There's literally no point to them. But hey, shout out to SEC. You all keep being gangsters, man. Can't nobody stop you. In another episode of the SEC being gangsters, SEC accepts BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF application, signaling regulatory review. If you remember, all the way up until really BlackRock, anyone else who applied for an ETF, from what I was told by a very high-powered lawyer who deals with the Democratic National Convention, Google, Facebook, and some other people, literal verbatim words were, they're getting those applications and they're balling them up and throwing them in the trash, or they're literally not even looking at them. This was, now to be fair, this was circa 2017, 2018 at the time. But the people who applied then, applications were literally tossed into the trash or not even considered by the SEC. This is their job to do this with every company. They instead decided to say, no, we don't like none of you and we're not going to do it. However, as soon as BlackRock gives them their ETF application, boom, is under regulatory review, top of the line in front of everyone, even those who applied in 2017. You got to love this gangster shit. It don't get no better than this. The SEC's acknowledgement indicates the commencement of the official review process for BlackRock's ETF proposal. Normally, I would say it shouldn't go through. I don't think it will go through, but I also was quoted as saying the last couple of weeks that if it did go through, and especially if it went through first, then the corruption levels at our all-time high. The fact that it is even going through regulatory review shows me that corruption is at an all-time high. There's nothing else to talk about. This is fucking ridiculous. You have BlackRock literally come in at the 9th inning last out of all ETF applications, and they've been moved to the front. There's nothing else to talk about. The SEC is showing you who they are, and I believe them. I'm not going to even go into detail about the story. You're reading it right here. Here's the topic. So with that being said, will they actually get an ETF? More than likely, yes now. As I said, if they didn't get the ETF, then somebody was going to have a heart attack or maybe die in a car crash type of deal. You know how that goes. So they're definitely going to get it. At this point, it's about when are they going to get it. It's about when. When will they get the ETF? It is clearly going to happen. Shout out to the SEC again. Not sure how and why they exist or why taxpayer money pays for these fucking cronies, but it's out of control right now. Let me stop before I end up having a bad Monday morning. I'm having a good Monday right now, people. I'm going to go to some quick comments, and I got to finish up these stories. Today's a quick day. All right, let's see. You know what? I didn't want to get into it, but since you said, I'm going to talk about it. DH 2022 said, this is the reason why XRP is a better long-term investment than all other coins. I won't say a better long-term investment. They're going to come under the same regulatory vilification that they've already been through. They'll go through it again, essentially. But what I will say is I think this is why the judgment in the XRP case just happened. Because the last thing you want and can do is say, well, yes, we're with this BlackRock ETF, but no, we're doing this thing with XRP. Like, no, it has to be cut and dry. So they're letting the little ones go. The XRPs can go. Fuck Coinbase. We never gave you a blessing. You all can go. All these other people can go. Now, why? Make room for BlackRock ETF. It's going to give us all the money back we're going to lose and lost on everything else. Shout out to the government, boy. I tell you, they're great. But speaking of the government, there are some actors that are fighting back. Those coming out of states like Florida and Texas, of course, are leading the way. Ron DeSantis vows to ban CBDCs in the U.S. if elected president. Speaking at the Family Leadership Summit on July 14, DeSantis promised to ban CBDCs in the U.S. if elected president. But here's my question, is bigger than the headline. Why is someone running for president already talking about banning CBDCs? What don't we know in the background, people? What don't we know? But again, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and you know Miami is a Bitcoin city. Maybe he wants to make room for Miami coin. I know we will all love that over at this channel. But he has once again criticized central bank digital currencies, arguing against the digital dollar in the country. Again, speaking at a Family Leadership Summit on July 14, he promised to ban CBDCs in the U.S. if elected president. If I'm the president, on day one, we will nix central bank digital currency. Shout out to him. Done, dead, not happening in this country, he said during the event in Iowa, which featured 6 other Republican Party candidates. Now, again, I'll say this. Governor of Florida, Miami is a Bitcoin city. Miami coin is there. If he's talking about banning CBDCs, it's because there is another plan in place. Is that a Bitcoin plan? Is that a Miami coin plan? A city coin plan? We don't know what the plan is, but he does understand how powerful Bitcoin is just by what's going. I'm telling people, if you go to Miami, everything in Miami is Bitcoin crypto. Like, you can use your crypto there. So he knows the power of it. So for him to already come out on his platform and say, hey, I'm banning CBDCs, then to me, that's saying that, yes, you are supporting Bitcoin. You are supporting other cryptocurrencies because, again, CBDCs, while it won't be the end all to crypto and Bitcoin, it is the stopgap. It is the short-term solution for the government and the central powers that be to slow down or stop the adoption of digital currency. So, again, he already signed a bill in Florida that prohibits the use of federal CBDCs as money. He's banning foreign ones, and it looks like he's actually going to ban this. He claims that CBDCs, what he does know what he's talking about, folks, it will lead to a massive transfer of power from consumers to a central authority. So, yes, this is a Bitcoin move. Shout out to Governor DeSantis. Holy shit. Woo! And just like that, people, you'll have a lot of people putting social issues to the side saying, hey, maybe he likes gay, straight, transgender, this, that, kids, adults, consent, alcohol, marijuana. Maybe he likes all this stuff. Maybe he doesn't like it. But I know one thing. I want to control my money and I want to control my value. Just that alone could cause people to vote against other things that may be harmful to them in order to have this beneficial move here. So shout out to Governor DeSantis. Huge move. And it looks like he thoroughly understands the power of not only crypto, but what would actually happen if you people, long story short, I know you all don't see this happening because it's 2023 and these things don't happen unless they're in other parts of the world. But really quick, if we were to create a CBDC and gave all consumers value to a central authority to literally where it's a switch on and off, then all they have to do is little things like, hey, Americans, you're not allowed to watch Channel 3 no more. Well, why not? I want to. No, you're not. In fact, if you want to watch Channel 3, we're going to cut off your money. You want to get an attitude with the government, we're going to cut off your money. You want to do anything wrong that our government doesn't tell you to do, we're going to cut off your money. And before you say you trust our government blindly, literally look at what the SEC is doing to Coinbase. Like, are you kidding me right now? Shout out to Ron DeSantis. I don't know his political leanings, but I know what he leans in on crypto, and I'm with it. All right, last couple of stories. Aave Protocol launches stablecoin GHO on Ethereum mainnet. $2 million have been minted. The story's in the headline. I don't know how I felt about this one. We have enough stable coins right now, but this is a new algorithmic dollar peg stable coin. You know how I feel about these algo stable coins. I don't fully trust and believe in them. The market is too immature for those type of algorithmic stable coins to me. I do not fully understand how this algorithmic stable coin works. I have not read into it. The most I have saw was the headline today that they launched it. So again, good thing, I guess, for Aave. I don't know if this is the best move. Another stable coin from what we've seen. This usually ends bad, but we'll continue to follow it. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts on that stable coin. And last but not least, again, I got to run today. Unstoppable Domains adds .ethereum domains through Ethereum name service. This is something I actually saw coming. I never announced it publicly, but I kind of saw this coming. I announced something else publicly which fits into this, and that's consolidation. Remember, everybody's talking about this crypto bubble is going to pop and all these projects. And remember what I said? I was like, yeah, to be more positive, it's not that the crypto bubble is going to pop and 98% of the projects is going to disappear. They're going to consolidate. There's going to be project A that looks at project B and be like, well, project C can do both of these now with the technology. So to me, this made sense. I kind of thought this would eventually happen, and it makes sense. Unstoppable Domains and Ethereum name service have dominated the decentralized domain namespaces competitors until now. Why not just join together? And that's essentially what they did. Two of the biggest platforms powering Web3 decentralized domains are now available under one roof after Unstoppable Domains announced support for .ethereum domain names from the Ethereum name service. Another reason why I kind of figured this would happen is because both of them by themselves were already losing steam after last year. Especially Ethereum name service, after the airdrop, they started losing steam already. So what do you do when you're both essentially our competitors, same market, and you're both losing steam? Join together. This made sense. And I'm not even really talking about this story for these two partnering as much as I am the entire market. Look at other projects that have similar things or are competitors. Expect them in the short term, I think the shorter long term, the next 3 to 5 years, expect them to consolidate and partner. And the reason why is because as the SEC and government ramps up their efforts to take out specific projects or specific markets that we have, maybe the NFT market or something like that, the only way these projects and these people will be able to fight back, since they don't have enough resources on their own, will be to join up. So whether you're joining up to share volume and share customers, or if you're joining up to share resources to fight back against the likes of the SEC and some of these other government agencies who are overreaching, CFTC, I'm looking at you as well. This is the way that they're going to do it. They're going to have to consolidate. So again, this makes sense to me, and I'm just using this to highlight what I think is going to happen to the rest of the industry and market as time goes on here in the next 3 to 5 years, and as efforts ramp up to try to stop or slow down crypto. Other than that, that is the show for today, folks. Like I said, I was in and out today, and I still happen to do a quick 19. That's going to be the show. Make sure you smash that like and share. We're going to see you tomorrow with some more crypto news, and more great things are coming on the way. Cheers, cheers, cheers.